Charities have told Sky News they estimate there are several thousand high-risk migrant children in need of specialist paediatric intervention in Greece, and the country simply can't cope.
Our correspondent Lisa Holland met a number of youngsters in urgent need of medical help there. From Athens, she sent this exclusive report, a warning it does show some pictures of children in distress.
13-year-old Najib Ali has waited more than a year to see specialist consultants in Greece.
And an X-ray, an old X-ray back from his hospitalization that shows the skeletal injuries and also the lung injuries that the boy had.
His family's home near the Syrian city of Homs was hit by a bomb, leaving him with shrapnel in his spine and unable to walk.
نجيب هو يعني قبل الإصابة كان طفل كتير حرك كتير يعني إنه متطلع على الحياة كتير إنه متفائل طفل كان بالدراسة من الأوائل على المدرسة كان كتير يحب المدرسة يحب رفقاته يحب يطلع يحب يفوت.
Najib's family pushed him in a wheelchair across Syria, then paid people smugglers to take them in a dinghy to Europe in the hope they would find a doctor to help him walk again.
ببقى أنا عم تصبني كيف عم بتعذب يعني مقابلي وأنا مو قادرة إني أعمل شيء.
But doctors have discovered more problems. He is told he needs an urgent, even life-saving operation. The teenager has the kidneys of an old man and is facing the prospect of renal failure.
He's got a serious urological problem that needs to be dealt with pretty soon in order not to jeopardize his kidney function and not having him end up in dialysis.
We sit in the shade to meet an 11-year-old boy who can't face direct sunlight. Manan is pictured with his sister Natlia a few years ago. This is him now. After fleeing Syria, he suffered third-degree burns to much of his body when fire broke out in his tent in a migrant camp in Greece. He now needs plastic surgery.
So he was burned everywhere apart from his legs and his chest.
Volunteer Salam al-Din has been helping the family and shows us a video of the night of the fire. You can hear the screams of Manan's mother. She had to choose which of her children to try to rescue from the flames first. She saved Natlia, sparing at least one child more serious injury. Charities have told Sky News there are several thousand high-risk children in need of specialist paediatric intervention, but Greece can't cope.
The Greek people have been wonderful, but because there is such an exodus of refugees coming to Greece, the medical services are overstretched.
Again reliant on the goodwill of strangers, Najib's father is helped by a passerby to get his son down the hospital steps, still unsure if or when he'll get the treatment he needs. Lisa Holland, Sky News, Athens.
Well, with us now, HananSKYGWC, founder of the humanitarian group Goodwill Caravan, who have been helping in the region featured in that report there. And Hanan, perhaps you can just describe for us your experiences there and the children you see and what they're going through.
Sure. The children are terrified, so are the parents from what they've been through. They've seen so much at such an early age. What we try and do is help them have any kind of sense of normality, help them with their medical needs, do skills workshops for them, play with them. But even though all of them smile and are so grateful and beautiful, you can see in their eyes and in their artwork what they've been through.
And we've seen some awful examples of the injuries and the trauma that many of these youngsters are going through. It was your idea to set this charity up, wasn't it? How did it all come about?
Yeah. Well, I think like many other people, it was mainly the image of Aylan Kurdi on the shores of Greece. But for me, it was also the reports of the organ trade, the children that were going missing because of organ trade in their families. And it was one particular picture of a mother and 3 children on the beach that had had their organs taken out. And I just thought, I have to go and do something. And so I took 2 of my friends and we went, and that was a year and a half ago. And we set up Goodwill Caravan, and it's been great.
So this has become more or less a full-time project for you now in terms of, you know, taking over your life to try and help these children. What kind of, we were looking in that report there about the fact that Greece cannot cope with some of these, with some of the treatments that these children need. What kind of medical cases are they there with?
The majority of the children that I see have severe disabilities. So they're in wheelchairs, or they've been victims of apparent sarin attacks. You can't prove it, but you see the same kind of symptoms, the foaming at the mouth, the rolling on the floor, completely debilitated. My profession is I'm a mental health practitioner, and so I help children as much as I can with PTSD and things like that.
So it's long-term care that they're going to struggle with, the immediate dealing with the physical injuries, but it's, you know, the mental scars that last. That's what
definitely for the children. Yeah, for the children and their parents. We work mainly with vulnerable groups, because they are in need of the most help. And even though the Greek people have been amazing, they're over capacity. They don't have the facilities, especially with medical critical care. They just don't have it.
So what's needed? Is it simply cash so that those out in Greece can buy the right medicines, the right equipment, or is it more than that?
A lot of money has been pumped into Greece, according to the media, and I can't comment on that. But what I see is that there are specific procedures, like the little boy Najib that you saw in the video and the twins. They don't have the capacity to do the surgeries there, and we're hoping to get him here for a life-altering spinal surgery.
And that's what you're raising funds for?
We're trying to raise money for that, yes. And we have a housing project. We help people with legal, medical. We've got an office set up in Athens, but right now, the more urgent need is for these children, because Najib's kidneys are failing, and we want to help with that.
So you're trying to secure their short-term future, but looking further ahead at their long-term future. These children are having to deal with so much, and they don't know where they're going afterwards.
That's true. There are children that, when they've reached their final destinations, per se, for now, in Sweden, that a huge population that have gone into comas. And that's probably, according to research, it has to do more with what they've seen. They can't block it out. So yes, there is a need for long-term care. We are trying to raise money and work with other amazing organizations out there to try and help these children.
And do many of the families you speak to say that one day they'd like to go home, they'd like to return to the place they've had to flee?
Yes, almost all of them do, especially the children. I think Najib says it in the report, that he says, I just want to go home, but he knows that there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's so traumatic, isn't it? Well, thank you very much indeed for coming to talk to us and describe some of the good work you're doing.
Yeah, thank you, Hanan. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.